Oh good, it works. Just about. Oh! Suyoi. He's pretty strong. This reminds me of like playing Skyrim or something back in the day, you know. Yeah, fuck you. This game's pretty good. It's very it's very simple though. I haven't really played it for very long. I've probably played it for like an hour or something. I haven't got that far. Oh, she's pretty. What's happened to her? Fucking hell. Look at her eyes. Oh, they're all the same. They're all the same expression and pose. Okay. Someone said this game's like shovelware. I don't know about that. They've made the same game like 3 times and like tried to improve on it like every time. They've released the same game, basically the same game like 3 times. I guess that's what like Final Fantasy and other companies did as well though. Oh, goblin. Where's he gone? Up there. Yeah, it's a bit like Goblin Slayer, that like anime light novel thing. I think was it a manga or a light novel? Can't remember. Most people will remember the anime though. Ooh. But I played a few of these kind of games this time last year. Am I supposed to untie these girls? Rescue them? How do I rescue them? They're fucking dead. They're fucking dead. I can't like click on them or anything. Maybe I already completed the quest, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of got that like MMO kind of style design, but this is honestly like better than like a lot of the MMOs that I tried. Like, I tried quite a few like MMOs after I stopped playing Guild Wars. Like after Guild Wars kind of died down when Guild Wars 2 came out, I tried a lot of different MMOs. Most of them were just awful. The only one I really settled on that I really liked was Terra Online. Final Fantasy 14 was obviously quite a good quality game, but I didn't really play that for too long. I didn't really even hit max level. It was obviously well made. It just didn't quite feel like my type of game. And there wasn't much social engagement in that game either. It was weird because like, I started it like not long after it came out and everyone else was like, well not everyone else, but a lot of people were already like max level and they were like leveling up their crafting and things like really high and doing like the raids and stuff. And I played it for quite a lot of hours and I still didn't even get to max level. So it's like, I just wonder how the fuck do people do that sort of thing, like get to the top of these MMOs. It doesn't really interest me as much, like those kind of games where you're competing by like playing for like so long and figuring out the economic tricks and stuff. That's not really as interesting for me. Like Guild Wars was better in that respect. It wasn't really like that. I get that it's fun, it's kind of like people want to be like recognized as like the top player in the game and stuff. They want to have like a reputation in the game. They want their character to kind of have like its own kind of mythos surrounding it in the community, kind of thing. I get it. It's just not really my kind of thing. Oh, he's got a flamethrower? No, it's just a. We got a red one. He looks really demonic. Getting the Jap girls to do the voices was a good choice on this game. Oh. The blocking doesn't really like help you much in this game. You just kind of get stuck in like a. You just get stuck like blocking all the time. You don't really get like an advantage of blocking rather than just walking out of the way of the attack. Or just jumping over it. Where are you going? Lol. Yeah, this game kind of reminds me a bit of like some of the early games, some of the games I made when I was like first learning how to do programming. They weren't as complicated as this, obviously, but the kind of feeling of the game, like I don't really see that much in the games industry, like games that feel like handmade and kind of have like this uniqueness about them and kind of a fun factor by virtue of being completely quirky and unique, and also kind of like half-baked. This game kind of has that half-baked kind of feeling. It's pretty fun though, it's pretty fun. I've been playing Star Wars KOTOR, and people say that's the best game ever made. And I do like BioWare games in general, and that style of game, like Baldur's Gate 2, Dragon Age Origins, Mass Effect, those kind of games. Even Baldur's Gate 3 was alright, apart from the story and the characters weren't very interesting. But yeah, I mean, KOTOR didn't really do it for me very much. It's kind of a weird game. Like, people say it's really good. I wasn't that impressed by it compared to their other games around that time, like Baldur's Gate 2, which is an excellent game. Baldur's Gate 2 around level sort of 7 to 8, like a few hours into the game, like once you've got out of the first dungeon and you've done like a couple of quests, leveled up a bit, especially on a solo character, is very good gameplay, like on like a solo sorcerer or a solo mage in Baldur's Gate 2. At that sort of level, around like when you've gained like 2 or 3 levels, maybe 4 levels, it's very good. But then later on, it just it's not as good because you end up like spending ages like casting spells and stuff before battle, and then it's more like RNG based, whether you win or lose or not. And it's kind of like it gets easier as well because you're just relying on your precasted stuff. It feels much more like spontaneous and dynamic and responsive, like reactionary gameplay, like those early levels, especially when you're like soloing. Pretty good stuff. There aren't many games that can kind of recapture that feeling of playing that Baldur's Gate 2 at that stage of the game. Especially as a solo sorcerer, it's really good. There's not many like games that can capture that experience. Die. They had a lot of fucking health. Wood staff. Was that a good item? Was that better than what I've got? Let's have a look. Wood staff, HP regen. I thought I had a wood staff equipped. Yeah, I do. Is that better? It's got HP regen. That's the only difference. But yeah, when I was younger, when I was about 18, I made this game called Garden Invaders. And it was just like Space Invaders. But I changed the enemies to be snails. So I downloaded this like Java like Space Invaders game to try and figure out how it was, you know, to learn how the game worked and stuff. And then I just like changed the enemies into snails. And when I wanted the game to be harder, I basically layered more and more snails on top of each other. So every snail would shoot like a laser thing, something that looked like a laser beam. And so I didn't really code their health at first. I just like added more and more snails on top of each other, which is pretty funny. It's getting a bit laggy now. It's feeling quite laggy now. Where are we going? But yeah, this game was pretty cool because I kind of based it on like Gunz slightly. So you were basically playing like Space Invaders, like kind of like a bullet hell kind of game. But the bullets only went in a straight line. But they were kind of there was a randomness to their staggering, like they were like green laser beams moved downwards towards you, but there was a kind of randomness to their positioning. And you had like lots of different weapons. You had like a shotgun which went like like a snappy kind of noise. You had like a machine gun, which was like kind of noise. You could slash the snails with a sword, and you could also block with a sword. You could block their lasers and stuff with a sword. Then you had cluster bombs, which were like let me turn the game down a bit. You had cluster bombs, which you'd shoot them out, and when they touch a snail, they would explode, and the little like purple or red fragments would slowly spread out after it you know, like a cluster bomb. I can't remember what the other weapons were, but I know you had the best weapon you had was like a missile. And when you shot the missile, it went out very slowly, and then when it hit a snail, it like detonated into like hundreds of little red like circles, which like slowly spread out and like hit all of the snails. It was really cool, and the game was pretty fun to play. Like, it was actually fun to play. It took skill to play it, and you know, you got better. You learned how to play it, and it got better. It's kind of fun to do that, to make like a game like that. And the last boss was like, once you killed all the snails a few times, they got harder, right? the last boss was Dermot Gavin, which is like this garden designer guy from the UK who used to be like on TV. So the last boss is like Dermot Gavin, and he shoots like this blue laser thing at you, like a huge blue laser, and it like it appears above your position, right? So you have to keep dodging it because it like kind of homes onto you by appearing like wherever your character is. And it's actually pretty hard, and it also does like a shit ton of damage. Like it would kill you in like, I don't know if it was one hit or if it was like 2 or 3 hits, but he had a lot of health as well, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I would show you Garden Invaders, but it was on my first laptop that I ever had. Actually, not my first one, but we had one. We won one when we were young, when we were like, I don't know, 14 or 15, maybe a bit younger. But my mum stood on it and broke it. But the first laptop that I actually had, that I saved money for with my like part-time jobs, is this grey like Acer laptop, and that's what had Garden Invaders on. I actually have some of my other old programs from that era that I learned how to program with, but like, and some of my stuff from university as well. But I actually don't have Garden Invaders. It's like a lost relic. So I don't have that one, even though it was like the best game I ever made. But yeah, I mean, the issue I have with a lot of games is they feel like they're just following a template. Even some of these smaller games, like that should have like freedom, like indie games. Even a lot of indie games are still kind of following a template, or rather pre-established kind of gameplay mechanics and things. You very rarely see stuff that's like super original. Um, the I'd say the only people that are really coming out with those kind of ideas was like me when I was younger. I had some ideas for like crazy game mechanics like no one else would have thought of. The other guy that was like Sargon of Akkad, when Sargon of Akkad used to be a game developer, um, a long time ago, like 10 years ago, um, he described like one or two of his ideas for games that he wanted to make. Those sounded very unique because Sargon of Akkad is actually like quite a good D&D like GM, like a dungeon master for like tabletop games and stuff. He's actually good at that sort of thing. A bit like Jason from Archaics. But yeah, I don't really see that. I really don't see it very much. Like a game where I feel like, oh yeah, these guys had a crazy idea of like what you could code and make it into gameplay, make it feel like gameplay, make it code some fucking weird thing, and it would be a type of gameplay that no other game's done before. It doesn't even have to be that. It could just be like the same kind of concept, but just like with completely different elements or a different feel or a different way of controlling it. Like old games had it better, like PS2 games and stuff. Those were closer to what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's strange. One game I did see that kind of did that was like this like parody like joke game called like, it was called like 420 like MLG Blaze It or something, and it was kind of like a demo, like a free game, and it was like It was like a parody of a first-person shooter, and I think like the final boss was like Shrek or something. This was a while ago. But even then, it's just a first-person shooter clone. But yeah, it's a shame. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. It's cool to look through. It's cool to look through these kind of games like this Eternal Dread thing and just try like weird games. Like here's another one I tried. Look, this one. I tried this one as well. This was kind of unique as well. It's kind of fucking weird kind of game. This felt more like a normal game. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'd rather play this. I'd rather play Eternal Dread though than some woke shit like Black Samurai or like Last of Us 2 with the lesbian Ellie girl with like the gnashy, not snarling face and the blood all over her face, and whatever that new was it Star Wars Outcast or something that one that was like a month ago. Everyone was playing it. The girl just kind of looked like she was just like a regular office worker from the real world, and she was just like dropped into the role of like a Star Wars protagonist. Yeah, this game right here is closer to like the real spirit of gaming than all of that AAA rubbish. Fucking lags on my PC though. My PC's too old. It's not a very well optimized game. Like it really lags quite horribly. I like trying to break the animations in these kind of games. I like trying to animation lock and what's the word, like animation cancelling, like in Gunz. I did find a game like that you could do it in. It was called Blades of Time. Wasn't really a very good game though. You can kind of do it with the animation locking, animation cancelling with the wand here. You keep if you keep jumping in between your attacks. See what I mean? Sometimes it fucks up there and you get stuck on the ground. Well, right, I've got a quest to do. I heard this game didn't have music, but it does have some. I think it doesn't have music in the field, out in the fields. Where's this woman I've got to go talk to? I could probably stream this from my main PC and it work better, but we don't have enough Ethernet cables at the moment. We don't have enough Ethernet ports on our router because my brother's like plugged in a bunch of crap for me to plug my main PC in because I don't want that Wi-Fi hitting me. Turn the Wi-Fi off when he's at work. But yeah, I mean, my advice in general is like, games are not the only thing in life, you know? Go make some wine, go grow some flowers or vegetables, go fishing, go do some woodwork, you know, make something. And I don't mean like just copying trends on YouTube, like modern trends. Although it is good for ideas sometimes. Make some kind of machine out of electronic things. You also don't need to go to the gym. You don't need to pay. You don't need to pay to go to some Globo Homo gym with a bunch of strangers there. You can just go and climb a tree. Go and like cut wood with an axe. Go and shoot a bow. Practice your sword fighting. That's gonna be as good for your muscles as going to a gym. When my granddad died, my nan wanted to get rid of some of his old furniture, like really good quality wood, and I took some of it and used it to make a table for my cousin, and I gave it to him for free, and there's a table for his PC gaming, and he's still got it. Go to the Heartless Woods on level 9. Oh yeah, me and my friend actually, me and my Filipinian friend a few years ago, about 5 years ago, we played this weird game. I can't remember what it was called. I played it with him and it was a bit like this. He reckoned it was really hard. It's a very odd kind of game. I can't remember what it was called. Might have to find out. Well, it didn't really seem like it was my kind of game, but I don't know. He'll play anything, he will. So this time last year, I tried a few games. I was trying to look for, trying to find a game that lived up to my imagination of what's possible in this Otanapoi kind of genre. So it's this kind of game, but it's much more explicit kind of game, and much more violent. But my imagination is not like necessarily a 3D game. It could be a 2D game like Baldur's Gate, where you're basically like it's kind of heavily story based, and you're kind of your character is like trapped in a dungeon or something, or a complex, and they have to figure out how to escape. And it's kind of like there's like lots of different rooms and corridors and items, kind of like a point and click kind of game, but also kind of like Baldur's Gate. So you'd have some combat skills, and you could, like Skyrim, you can choose like what to specialize in. You could kind of like maybe it's like choices like you talk to this NPC, and if you give them something or do something for them, they'll give you a certain skill or something, which helps you, go into like one, like thief or sorcerer. You kind of find ways to progress along different things, and also just randomly fighting things. But I think it would be quite like item based and like dialogue based. But there would also be like traps and things. And it would also be like, say you meet like a dragon or something. Now, depending on what you're wearing or what you've done, like what choices you've made, would affect how the dragon like interacts with you. Like, he might not even attack you if you've like befriended a certain NPC or something, or if you have a certain item on you. Um, and there'd be like multiple ways to escape from the dungeon. It wouldn't just be one way. There'd probably be like one main way of doing it, but then there'd be like alternate ways. But obviously it would be completely alternate. So you'd have lots of violent and horrific things happening to your character if you fuck up, which you probably are going to. So like she walks on like a pressure plate on the ground and like a bunch of arrows shoot out and just hit her all at once. And then I'd probably have like illustrations, because it would be kind of 2D. There probably wouldn't be very good graphics, so you'd probably have like illustrations of the different like bad endings and stuff. You know, like in the first part, like the first dungeon in Baldur's Gate 2, where you have like all different, you have like riddles and you have keys and dialogue, and you gotta escape from it. It would be a lot like that, but not like, it would be way more complicated and kind of open-ended. There wasn't like super bosses and stuff. Like, it would be like that kind of feel to it though, I guess. Especially with like the riddles and stuff, and like all the different rooms and types of enemies, and it would be a lot like that. And so far, I looked and I haven't really seen anything like that. It's weird because it's very obvious. It's a very obvious like thing to do as well, and it's not like technically that difficult. It's not technically that difficult to do. Although, granted, like Baldur's Gate 2 can't have been an easy game to make at the time. But like, yeah, it's not a 3D. It's not even a 3D game, so it's not like it's not that hard, right? But for some reason, it hasn't really been. That idea hasn't really been fulfilled yet for some reason. From what I've seen, I could be wrong. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. My health's still full. Come back here. Oh, that's nice. I like how they're just hanging like from the hands. It's pretty good. We got some variety. Hang on, when I walk into them, do they sway? Yeah, they got fucking physics on this. What? I thought they were just like static. This is a weird thing when you get like amateur devs like using like a predefined game engine. It's kind of weird. Like, the game ends up being like better than it really is. Like, the game looks like it's better than it actually is. Like, there's more game there than the amount of effort they've put into it, which is really weird. But the problem is, the problem with that is it can end up being just kind of empty. Like, there's no soul to it. And the gameplay can be very simple because it's just realism based. I suspect this game might suffer from that a little bit. Graphics are also a bit washed out, they're not that great. They need to boost the saturation a little bit, I think. That might be intentional. So I'm playing as a battle mage at the moment, battle mage class. She seems to do the most damage with her sword though. The wand is kind of crap, like useless, and I don't like how you lunge forward like every time you cast it. Your character kind of lunges forward, which is not helpful when you're trying to like keep your distance or avoid attacks. The basic gameplay is pretty fun though. Lol. And that's what a lot of games fucking fail at, is they fail to make the interaction with the game engine fun. The interaction with the game system should be fun, right? That's what a lot of games fail at, especially when they try and make it like cinematic or like realistic. This is starting to look like a good dungeon. We've got like 2 goblins, 2 big whatever they are, like ogres or something. A wasp with like a sting that shoots sting things at you. A wild boar thing. Although he's probably not meant to be involved. Might have trouble. A lot of enemies. Oh, he hits pretty hard. Just fucking wrecked them all. There's just one guy left, he's the one with the fireballs. Yeah, it's not that hard. I think there is a hard mode. There is a hard mode of the game. I've not really played that long and I've got like half the skills already on this character, so I'm not really sure how long of a game it is. Obviously you've got like different classes you can play as, and there's actually quite a few and they all look kind of interesting, so I think the game didn't really cost much. It was like 12 quid or something, like £12, can't remember. Not really expecting much from this game, I'm just kind of messing about. Oh. I played a few games last year, and I think the best one was this one that I can't remember the name of, but it was kind of like a Castlevania sort of style, like 2D platformer. It was quite dark, like kind of a gothic kind of look. And you played as this woman that kind of looked like a nun or something. You just had to run along, but you also had like you could attack with a sword and a bow. It's pretty good. That felt like a really professional game, like it felt like a real game that you would have played on like Sega Mega Drive. But obviously it was, you know, out na poi no game. Played another one that was weird. It was kind of like a Japanese horror game, and like the way you moved around the level, if I remember correctly, it was kind of like Pokemon, kind of like isometric kind of style. And you were in this like weird hotel, and you kind of had to go from like one floor up to find the way up to the next floor, and you had to find like keys and stuff, and you kind of got these like flashbacks or like visions or something of what had happened there before or something. It's kind of creepy, and I don't really understand it. But I think you could get like bad endings and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like the illustrations were pretty good. it wasn't really like you had to. There wasn't any fighting. There wasn't any combat system. There wasn't like encounters. And there was kind of choices, but fairly simple. Like, lol. So yeah, it wasn't that great. But it stood out as like being relatively different. Yeah, kind of had a cool like idea, cool concept, and but I think it was all in Japanese, so like I didn't bother to translate it, so I was kind of like didn't really get what was going on. There was like a lot of text as well. Then I played this other one, which was like this card battler kind of game, which I've never played before. It's pretty cool actually. I've never played a game like that before, but I think it's kind of like a new kind of genre of gameplay style. It's pretty cool. You kind of like click on cards to like counteract their cards and stuff, and you kind of like hope to get like good cards popping up, and it was kind of on like a rotation, and there was kind of like a strategy to it, but it was also kind of seemed like luck based as well. But I say the game was fairly good, but once you knew how to do it, you pretty much like figured it out and got to the end, and then you didn't really want to play it again. But the actual interesting aspects of the game were not really very good. There was hardly anything to it. Like the game kind of presented itself as being very like stylish, but there wasn't really much substance there. Similar to AS109's City 17, I think it's called. Is it City 17? Something like that. It's like that kind of style. Then I played another one that was like a typical JRPG. And that was all in Japanese. I had to like translate the whole thing. But I didn't get like super far. I probably only played it for like 6 hours or something. But that had quite a complex kind of story. I thought that was quite good, even though it didn't really have. It was very like 90s graphics, like Final Fantasy VI kind of looking. Like, what's it called? Chrono Trigger? That kind of style. I know Seth Sarnach has showed like a couple, at least one of these kind of games. I didn't really like the look of that one though. I do like his review. I really like his reviews. He's really funny. But I don't really like. I'm not really into the kind of games that he plays. But I'll always watch his reviews anyway because they're really funny. Okay. Heartless Woods, yeah, that's where I was supposed to be going to. Yeah, the design of the girls is pretty good. Very, very good for such a cheap, low budget game. Oh fuck. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, I'm caught in this fucking thing. How do I kill that then? Would I use a what? Should I use a 1 to kill it? Well, there's another one. Oh fuck, it's shooting at me. And then I got this guy as well. Let's back away from him. Because this guy's coming. I reckon this guy's gonna hit like a truck. I almost killed him with 1 spell. What the fuck? He's probably super vulnerable to fire. Let's see what he does if he hits me. See what happens if he hits me. Oh man, what the fuck? What was that? That's very slow, that attack though. I could easily just evade that. Oh, what did he just do? I blocked it and I went like flying like through the air. What was that? His punch? Was that his punch that did that? You could see they're going along the right lines, but they just haven't like finished the game. Like this is all you do basically. Oh fuck! What the fuck? I think you can also like kill the girls, but I can't remember how you do it. I think if you lose, you can kill them, but I can't remember. No, it hasn't happened yet. I haven't got the opportunity yet. What? This thing's got like a ton of health. That's good design as well. That's good design. These guys know what they're doing. Like the game isn't like crazy, but they know what they're doing. Is this an enemy as well? Oh, it's just on fire. That can't. I don't know what the range is on that. It can't hit that far though. This fucker, like. I thought I killed the other one really easily. Why is this one not? I'm really glad I got this fire spell, because if I didn't, I'd be like fucked. I think there was a flaming blade spell that I haven't used yet. Wait. Yeah, that fucks them up. Oh, that poisons me if it hits me. Yeah, my laptop's so old. Like, it should be able to run a game of this, like, visual quality, but like, it's obviously not very well optimized. Oh, I'm getting fucking poisoned to death here. That. What the fuck? I kind of want to like be able to knock them up in the air or something. One cool thing is you can jump to avoid some of their attacks. I realise like some of their fireballs and stuff, you can just jump over them, which is pretty funny. This is gonna kill me if I get hit by it. I don't have enough mana. I think I've only died like once so far, so the game's like not that hard even when your computer is like laggy as hell. I'm in normal mode though. Yep. Good noise when she gets hit. It's weird that you can't like cut these down or like kill them or anything. Like you can't do anything. They're just like props. I had to kill this one. I kind of miss like Terror. Haven't played it for a couple of years because it closed down, you know. I think there is a private server because I heard like Pippa Pipkin played it. I saw like Pippa Pipkin played on it, but I haven't really bothered. I don't know if it would run on this laptop. Oh shit. Now I'm on fire and I'm trapped in that plant as well. I don't know if that fire, like if the plant's on fire, do I go on fire as well? What did you just do? What just happened? That was a weird like move. This is a big guy. Oh, it's one of them. I'm fucked here. Or maybe not. Not enough MP. I'm trying to block. I don't want to like roll, but it's like rolling anyway. I prefer to have block on a separate button. The way they've got it is like if you don't move, then you block. But there's a bit of a delay, like maybe because my computer lags. Like I let go and I still roll. I'm still rolling even though I've let go. You know, it does feel a bit laggy. So I'm mostly just rolling. The block doesn't feel that useful. Maybe it's good later. Is that like a werewolf or something? He looked pretty cool. The art style's not bad. It doesn't look awful. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't really look pretty, but it doesn't look awful either. Sometimes like when something's like pretty, it just kind of gets like you get used to it anyway. I say Guild Wars is kind of pretty, but it doesn't have that effect where it just like you get acclimatized to it and then you ignore it. It's kind of really well designed, Guild Wars 1. Some games like they just have way too many like spell effects and like visual effects. Like Shadow Warrior 2 had that problem. The multiplayer Shadow Warrior game. Interesting game though. Me and my brother like played it once. Oh no, look. What happens if I just leave that on me? Oh, she collapsed to the floor. She collapses to the floor. I think. Oh my god. Or was that because I got hit by that ball thing? Oh, these enemies are like way too strong. Oh my god, these enemies are way too strong. I'm not going to press anything, I'm going to see what happens. Right, so I can't drink a healing potion or use a skill while I'm like bound like this. I can jump. I probably can't block. I can evade. God, this thing's following me for like miles. What if I go into another map? Does it stay on me? Can I run all the way into town like this? It should reset. No, it doesn't. It doesn't reset when I go through a map transition. That's hilarious. It just runs sideways. What the fuck? Well, can I pick up a mushroom while I'm doing? Yes, no. Oh no, I can't. Can I run back to the like starting zone or something? I think it's like down here or something. I'm in the main town now. I cannot interact. Oh, I can talk to this trader though. What the fuck? What if I jump in the water with this? Let's find out. I just float. Because before I could like swim. Oh, okay, I broke out of it. I can't get over the steps. This does seem to be quite a good enemy variety. Shit, I thought that was like a man like wearing a robe with a hood, like scary ghost man. But it's just a bunch of like sticks. They could do with having like a few kind of like really strong enemies that are like rare spawns or something. Oh, this is cool. This like foresty place. I think that wasn't where I meant to go. Though I meant to go south. Philia's grassland. I was gonna go south and see what's through that south.
We are going to have to act if we want to live in a different world.
There is a very unstable situation on the ground that is unfolding very quickly.
Move toward more ideas that will actually help. Toward end.
We are going to have to act. We are going to have to
There is a very unstable situation on the ground that is unfolding very quickly.